I've always been drawn to strange things, objects with history, with stories attached. So when I first heard about the Dybbuk Box, I didn't believe the warnings. It was just a wine cabinet, I told myself. Old wood, a relic from another time. But when the auction listing appeared online, something in me wouldn't let it go. Against every instinct, I placed a bid, and I won. The box was smaller than I expected, dark wood etched with worn symbols. When I touched it, the surface felt unnaturally cold, as though it had been sitting in ice. I carried it into my apartment, setting it on the table like a trophy. That night was when things began. At first, it was small, lights flickering, strange smells of jasmine and rotten fruit seeping through the room. I brushed it off as bad wiring, old pipes. But then came the dreams. In them, I saw a shadow crawling from the box, faceless but heavy, pressing its weight into my chest until I couldn't breathe. I would wake, gasping, with bruises on my ribs, where nothing should have touched me. Friends who visited refused to stay long. One swore he saw a figure standing behind me in the mirror. Another left, with a sudden nosebleed that wouldn't stop. I tried to get rid of the box, but each time I thought I had, it found its way back. Once I left it outside in the trash, only to find it on my kitchen table the next morning, its lid slightly open. Inside were strange objects, a lock of blonde hair tied with string, a small piece of granite, a withered rose, and what looked like an old coin. The moment I touched them, whispers filled the room, angry, desperate, as though hundreds of voices were clawing to be heard. I slammed the lid shut, but the whispers didn't stop. Then came the sickness. My skin paled, my hair fell out in clumps, and I grew weaker each day. Doctors ran tests, but nothing explained the rapid decline. At night, the shadows stretched long across the walls, and I began to see her, an old woman, hunched and broken, her mouth stretched open as though screaming without sound. She would stand at the foot of my bed, staring until the sun came up. I finally contacted a rabbi, desperate for answers. His voice shook when I described the box. He told me it was a Dybbuk Box, a prison for a restless spirit, a malicious one, bound to the objects inside. "You never open it," he said. "Never touch what's inside." His words came too late. I tried to return it, to sell it, to pass the curse to someone else. But every time the box left, something worse happened. Accidents, fires, near-death experiences. I realized then that it wasn't just attached to the box anymore. It was attached to me. Now I keep it sealed, wrapped in cloth, buried deep in the corner of my closet. But some nights I still hear it creak open, the whispers seeping out, calling my name. And I know that one day, the box won't stay closed.